Finally, Sunday. This is the last day of my matchup. Hopefully, this is going to be an important game. Again, I'm recording these all on Thursday, and I'm just releasing them throughout the week, so I have no clue if I'm already lost either Friday or Saturday's matchup and I'm below 500, but this could be a big game. If I won both those games, then we're sitting at 3-3. And, rather important game that could get me over 500. And honestly, I feel pretty confident about both those teams that I said would win. So I'm hoping this is going to be a huge game. So again, same thing as Saturday. There are 5 games on. And right off the bat, you can just eliminate Grambling number 17 Texas Tech. Like Texas Tech's been playing really good basketball as of late. And except for the Houston game, they have looked really, really good. And I just think Houston's a very good basketball team this year. As they are almost every year. Houston's always a really good basketball team. So that left 4 other options. Now, I'll tell you my final pick, the game that I'm going to pick, but let's go over the ones I didn't. So there's number 11 West Virginia at Georgetown. This was a game that if the top game, the game I'm going to pick, wasn't just sitting there waiting for me to take it. This is a game I might pick. Georgetown's normally a very good basketball school. West Virginia has been playing well, but gosh, did they get their clock cleaned with Gonzaga. Actually, no, they played very well against Gonzaga. It's just Gonzaga ended up winning in the end. They played very well, so that would have been a one that I would have been shaken picking that one. But it's probably the second best chance of an upset on Sunday. I really think that Georgetown does have a chance at beating West Virginia, and it's a team I would normally pick if there wasn't a ranked matchup today. At 4 o'clock Central, we have number 20 Kentucky at Georgia Tech. If you don't remember, Georgia Tech was pretty good last year. It had a real shot if they did well in the ACC tournament of getting in. Unfortunately, it was like one of those things where, I'm sorry, but you're not playing the ACC tournament because you committed some kind of violation. I don't remember what the violation was. But Georgia Tech was pretty good last year, so this is another chance for an upset. Kentucky's a lot of young talent and are sitting at 1-2. Falling to 1-3 would just be absolutely horrible for this Kentucky squad. Would knock them out of the top 25, which would be the first time I have seen Kentucky as in the top 25 in like forever. But this is another one I might have taken a risk on if there were no other good games, because Georgia Tech was playing really well last year. This is a game I would never ever pick unless I was forced to. It was the only ranked matchup of the day, or if the other ones were like FCS team. Western Michigan at number 8 Michigan State. So again, the MAC's not horrible this year. Ohio's looking pretty good. Buffalo's normally a pretty good basketball team. So, I mean, it could be a good year for the MAC. I don't think they get more than one in, mainly because it's the MAC. But I do think that it's possible that one of those teams creates some chaos, because Ohio is very well coached, and as a Penn State fan, we should be looking at Ohio trying to get their head coach to come over to our program. But I don't know if the same can be said about Western Michigan. I just don't know if they're good. I've not watched I'm going to admit something here. I've not watched a lot of Western Michigan basketball this year. But I think Western Michigan would have a shot, but again, it's not a team that, like, if it was just the Grambling at number 17 Texas Tech and Western Michigan at Michigan State, I would take Western Michigan, mainly because I have more faith in Western Michigan's ability to win than Grambling's, but I don't like either team to win. But finally, the noon game that I am in love with as a chance for an upset. It's number 12 Villanova at number 17 Texas. Texas is favored by 7, by the way. And I've really liked the fight out of this Texas team we've seen so far. The week 1, I was frightened. I was like, gosh, we only won by 2 to Davidson. And then I remember Davidson is normally a college basketball March Madness can play. They play in March Madness is what I'm trying to say, a lot. So, I mean, maybe they're not horrible is what I was trying to think in my head. I'm hoping. And then we put that absolute rout against Indiana. Indiana's very good. Indiana's a good basketball team this year. And we destroyed him, which is making me think that Kentucky, I mean, it's going to be fun in the Big 12 this year with teams like Baylor and Gonzaga and Texas. I mean, like, oh, it's gonna be fun in the Big 12. And Texas Tech. Let's not forget about Texas Tech. Oklahoma State's normally a rowdy squad. So is Oklahoma. So it's gonna be fun. Kansas State's normally a playoff, although it doesn't look like it this year. But normally they do compete for the playoffs every year. So it's gonna be interesting in the Big 12. But God, do I love Texas start of the year. And then what they did yesterday against UNC, it just showed that Texas has won 2 very clutch games. They make some clutch shots. If you don't remember that Oklahoma-Texas game last year, you should go back and watch the ending of that game because it was the most insane ending I've seen in a long time. Although Penn State's Miles Dredd nailing that 3 at the end of the game against VCU was pretty great. It was fantastic. I screamed when I saw Miles Dredd made that 3. It was his only point of the night, but I'm getting off track with my love of my Penn State team. March Madness, baby! But I just have not been impressed by this Villanova squad this year. And granted, Virginia Tech's looking like a very formidable team this year. It's going to be interesting because the first test really comes against Penn State. I'm interested to see how they're going to do against Penn State because I think Penn State's put together a pretty good squad this year. I think they have a chance to make the play at March Madness. And I'm interested to see how Virginia Tech deals with it. First really good team they've played since, Villanova, when they were ranked number 3 in the entire country. So Villanova fell all the way from 12 thanks to that loss. But Texas looks very, very solid with a 3-0 record, again, lodging a win against Indiana and a win against UNC is very, very good. If they could get a win against Villanova here, that would be pretty crazy, pretty good. I think I've seen a lot of good things out of this Texas team this year. They look like a possible playoff. They're definitely, I think, going to make March Madness, and then I think they have a chance to make some chaos and go deep into this tournament if they keep playing as scrappy as they do. I really like the Texas Longhorns' chances of going deep in this playoff race. I really love the Longhorns. Give me the Longhorns here to win the game. Let's go.